Hi, I'm here for the second part of my top 100 favorite characters ranking. Um, in 87th place is a character that it was hard for me to figure out where I wanted to rank the character. Because growing up, the character that I'm about to mention was one of my absolute favorite characters. But then as time went on, I stopped being interested in the character. Then later on, I started watching that character again, but not to the same degree and not with the same amount of love as I did before. So it was really hard to figure out where to place this character. But I eventually settled on 87th place, and that is Spider Man from Spider Man. I really like a lot of Spider Man comics, a lot of Spider Man films, a lot of Spider Man cartoons. Um, But if it wasn't for nostalgia, I feel like Spider Man would be a character that I would like, but wouldn't be in my overall ranking. Spider Man, a lot of the stuff that I really liked about Spider Man as a kid wasn't really story stuff, the Peter Parker stuff. I loved seeing Spider Man swing on webs, thought that looked so cool. I thought Spider Man's costume was so cool. His villains were so cool. Watching him fight his villains was so cool. And when I grew up, I realized that a lot of stuff that I loved about Batman, there's a lot of actual great story stuff. It's not just a lot of the visual and action stuff. With Spider Man, a lot of it is the action, and a lot of it is the comedy and all that stuff. But Spider Man, there's still some good emotional stuff with it. Spider Man still means a lot to me. So I think 87th place is the right rating specifically for me. I could definitely understand why he would be a lot higher on other people's rankings. And I'm not as big of a Marvel fan as I used to be, so uh, don't expect too many more Marvel characters in my ranking. In 86th place is Sakaki from Azumanga Daioh. There's a lot of anime characters in my list. I think at least a third of my list is anime characters. Azumanga Daioh is a very entertaining show, very comedic, lots of silly stuff. And Sakaki provides a lot of the adorable stuff and a lot of the heart to it, and helps it feel like more than just a very entertaining show, a show that has some real heart and meaning to it. So I appreciate Sakaki. In 85th place is Lisasi Manbavarin from Little Witch Academia. Um, Little Witch Academia, very cute show, very charming. Sucy, however you pronounce that. She's a really cool character, very stylish. Like her personality a lot. Really enjoy her character. Um, in 84th place is Rukia from Bleach. I watched a little bit of Bleach, and then it seemed like it was good, but didn't really interest me too much, except for the character of Rukia, who is awesome and has great interactions with the main guy, Ishigo. Um, I actually used to think the main guy's name in Bleach was Bleach, but I don't think it actually is. And Rukia is just a really cool, really charming character, and I wish the show was actually more about her. In 83rd place is Satsuki Kirin from Kill la Kill. Um, Satsuki is a really cool character um, with a very tragic, disturbing backstory, and is a character that is able to work past a lot of drama and is able to really grow and become a more likable character as things go on. She's a really complicated, good character. In 82nd place, could seem like a bit of an odd placement for me, is Hanada from Naruto. I haven't seen that much of Naruto. I saw a little bit of it, and it didn't really seem like it would be necessarily for me. There was definitely some stuff that I liked about it, but I quickly really liked Hanada. Hanada is adorably enduring character, really shy, very easy character to get emotionally attached to and really care about, and just want to see things go well for her. So I love the character of Hanada, even if I really doubt I'll ever bother watching old Naruto. Way too much stuff for a show that doesn't really interest me that much. But at some point, I do want to see more of it, just see more of Hanada. And if I saw more of Hanada, she could be even higher in the list. It's a bit ridiculous that she's higher than Spider-Man and is higher than 18 other characters when I believe Naruto is the thing on this list that I know the least about and have spent the least amount of time watching. But I just really love the character of Hanada a lot, so I decided she should be in 82nd place. Likely too high, although if I saw more of Hanada, she'd likely be like 25 or something, so it's complicated. I hope my list isn't too awful. In 81st place is your from Spy uh, family. She has a lot of great interactions with Lloyd, and your a lot of great interactions with Anya too, and yours is very charming, very enduring, great character. I love your 80th place is Kiki from Kiki's Delivery Service. Great underdog story. Kiki herself, a great underdog character, and Underdog himself did not make the list, although I do like Underdog. Kiki is a very compelling character who has a very strong, good journey to go on, and seeing her accomplish a lot of her goals, it's very empowering. Very lovely stuff. In 79th place is Shizuku from Whisper of the Heart. Um, Similar to Kiki, I really enjoy her journey, and Whisper Heart is an amazing film, deeply underrated, as coming from somebody that often really doesn't like romance films. But Shizuku is a great character that really goes through a lot of great stuff, and it's very compelling to watch her journey. In 78th place is Detard Reed from Code Geass. Not the only Code Geass character to make the list. Um, yeah, I have a lot of Code Geass characters on here. I was tempted to put even more. Detard is a very great supporting character. One of the better supporting characters out there. Fascinating character that often doesn't have a lot of screen time in episodes, but has a lot of great moments and is a character that feels like a subtle, wonderful addition to Code Geass. And I love having a character that is working with the heroes but doesn't have very many heroic intentions and is pretty open about his shallow goals, and having a villainous character with the heroes, or in the case of Code Geass, characters that at least have heroic goals even if they're doing very bad things. That is fascinating, so I love Detard. In 77th place is Man Ray from SpongeBob SquarePants. Man Ray is a legitimately awesome villain. Just happens to be in a very comedic show. And Man Ray is very comedic, very funny, very entertaining, but he has a legitimately awesome design, a very cool presence. And Man Ray is a character I think that could work very well in more serious stories, but he works amazing in SpongeBob. In 76th place is actually a character from Game of Thrones. And I think a lot of people would have a Game of Thrones character in their top 100. But I don't think any fans except for me would have this Game of Thrones character in their top 100. Grand Maester Faisal. For me, Faisal is that big standout character in Game of Thrones. For me, not Tyrion, not all those other characters, it's Faisal. And there's a lot of good characters in Game of Thrones I really like. Arya, Daenerys, Jon, Sansa, lots of good characters, but and well, Tyrion and Cersei and Tywin, lots of good stuff about Faisal. That's the big standout for me. He is hilarious, and with a show that's as intense as Game of Thrones, it is fun to have a character like Faisal that pretty much feels like a cartoon antagonist. Love him being a character that is acts all nice to who's in charge, and he's very bad at doing stuff, and he's very immature, very shallow, very creepy, but very fun to have around. Love Faisal. Oddly enough. 75th place. Another Code Geass character, Anya Allstream, an amazing addition to Code Geass. A character that starts off as a pretty subtle supporting character that ends up being very important, and a lot of very interesting stuff is revealed about her, and she ends up being a pretty cool side character and ends up becoming one of the more interesting characters in the show. Um, and so that's the second part of my ranking. I'm guessing I have some odd choices there. You can let me know how odd and counterintuitive and bizarre and not good my choices are if you want, or if you actually think my choices are good. You can let me know. You can let out your prediction about certain characters you think will be higher in my ranking. I hope you check out the first part if you haven't. Feel free to let me know your thoughts.